Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and her Brothers of Italy party are holding a final rally just days ahead of the European elections. With far-right parties forecast to win significantly more seats in the European Parliament than they currently hold, Meloni's been dubbed a potential kingmaker in Brussels. Our correspondent Giles Gibson reports now from Rome.
Supporters of the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni have come to this square in the heart of Rome for the closing rally of her party's European elections campaign. Now, unusually for a national leader, Giorgia Meloni is actually running as a candidate in the European elections, but she said that it's more symbolic, that she's not actually going to take up her seat. Her party, the Fratelli d'Italia, or the Brothers of Italy, has been riding high in the polls at around 27% of support amongst Italian voters. That compares to the opposition Democratic Party that's been trailing by around 7 points. Meanwhile, her coalition partners, the League and the Forza Italia, both fellow right-wing parties, have failed to get out of the single digits so far in the polls. Now, speaking to supporters of Meloni here at this rally, they've been telling us that the two most important issues in these elections for them are migration and changing the European Union.
Migration is an important issue because we support controlled migration. We absolutely don't want to help people smugglers. We want people to come here if they have the right to work in Italy.
Immigration is not controlled anymore. It hasn't been under control for years. For a long time, there's been a lot of immigrants.
Now, the opposition Democratic Party has been highly critical of the Meloni government's policy when it comes to migration, saying that the Italian government should actually be running search and rescue operations in the Mediterranean Sea. Meanwhile, the slogan of the Brothers of Italy party in this year's elections has been that Italy is changing Europe, and Giorgia Meloni could certainly end up in a highly influential position once these elections wrap up. And that's because the European Conservatives and Reformist group, which Brothers of Italy is part of, is forecast to be the second largest group in the next European Parliament. Now, there have been recently these reports of tensions between Giorgia Meloni and Ursula von der Leyen, who's running to stay on as the President of the European Commission. But if Meloni's wider group does indeed become the second largest group in the next European Parliament, then Ursula von der Leyen could be relying on Meloni's support to keep her job. Giles Gibson for CGTN, Rome.